Nathan Cole didn't speak. He pinned a court order over the no fishing sign, right beside a bucket full of fish. Behind him, the HOA crowd froze, mid-anger. Nathan didn't flinch when the wind lifted the edge of the paper. He pressed it flat. 2 fingers. A small click from the pushpin. Then silence. The kind of silence he preferred. Not because he feared noise, but because he'd learned long ago. Real change doesn't shout. It arrives steady, like water under ice. Nathan Cole was an environmental engineer, but he didn't talk about that. Not even when the HOA called him a landscape vandal in bold letters. Not even when they mailed photos of fish buckets like crime scene exhibits. 5 years ago, he'd spent 3 weekends knee-deep in this lake, cleaning algae, lifting rusted cans. One by one, no one asked him to, no one paid him. Back then, they clapped. Now, they squinted. He adjusted the brim of his cap, not out of pride, but to block the sun, and maybe, just maybe, their stares. His boots were damp, not from fishing. From waiting and responsibility others had long stepped over. One man near the cart whispered, "Is that the guy from the meeting?" Another didn't answer, just crossed his arms tighter. Nathan didn't turn. He reached into the bucket, lifted a fish, held it level, then gently placed it back in the water. Not for show, just for balance. Just to remind himself. He wasn't here to win. He was here to stay. The fish slipped under the surface. Nathan stayed still. His hand rested on the rod, not to hold it, just to feel its weight. Old graphite, slightly chipped near the grip. The same one his father used. This lake wasn't just a lake. It was where time used to slow. Where a man with chemo scars behind his ears once taught his son how to cast without scaring the water. Nathan remembered the folding chair, the thermos that never kept anything hot. The way his father would squint at ripples as if they were Morse code from another world. "We don't catch fish," he used to say. "We catch silence. You'll need that more." On the last trip, his father had coughed so hard the line snapped. He didn't say a word. He just handed Nathan the rod. "Keep it light," he whispered. "Let it bend." Now, years later, Nathan stood alone. The same trees, the same pier. But the rules had changed. Or maybe the people had. A seagull cried overhead. Nathan didn't look up. His fingers lightly traced the ridged cork handle. Dust had settled into the grooves, but he never wiped it off. Behind him, someone cleared their throat. A dry sound, sharp, like punctuation. Nathan didn't turn, but his grip shifted. Just a little. The kind that says, "Enough." The second fish hadn't touched the water when a voice cracked the air. "The new HOA rules have been posted. You're not allowed to cause trouble." Sharp, clear, coated in legal sugar. Nathan didn't look up right away, but he noticed the laminated sign beside the trash bin wasn't there yesterday. The font was different. Too clean, too new, too fast. A few feet back, folding chairs had been arranged in a half circle. Someone had brought a clipboard. Someone else was filming, not obviously, but through sunglasses. Nathan let the rod lean against the bench. He glanced to the right. A man in a polo shirt folded his arms. Another woman stood rigid, mouth tight, nodding along, too quickly. There was murmuring, but not toward him, toward each other. A script, something rehearsed. Nathan's gaze dropped to the edge of the pier, a red chalk mark, faint, but not accidental. He followed it with his eyes. It stretched across 3 planks, ending where his tackle box sat. Targeted, measured, waiting. He remembered the HOA flyer from last month, the one with the new Community Visual Harmony clause, the one he didn't vote on, because he was never told there'd been a vote. Behind him, someone fake coughed. Some people never learn. Nathan blinked, not out of surprise, but recognition. This wasn't about fish. It never was. This was a message, and messages always come before the strike. Nathan didn't speak. He just stepped back, one quiet step, then opened his backpack. The folder was always there, bottom pocket, sealed with dust. He hadn't touched it in 6 months, didn't need to. He was waiting for this moment. He pulled out a single page, court header, stamped, the ink still sharp from the county seal. Judgment entered. Failure to disclose HOA regulation changes within statutory window. Nathan walked to the sign, took the pushpin from the no fishing post, pressed the ruling over it, one nail over another, fact over fiction. Murmurs. Someone leaned forward. A man in a vest read aloud, quietly, but not quiet enough. Culver's Lakeside HOA. The woman with the clipboard stiffened. The same voice that shouted rules now said nothing. Nathan didn't gloat, just stood there. He looked at the signature at the bottom of the ruling, typed in serif, clean, but he knew that name, Marjorie Denton, HOA board chair, the one who'd sworn she never signed off on anything. A silence spread, but not peaceful. It was shifting. Nathan turned slightly, not to speak, just to look. His eyes met hers across the chairs. No hatred, no fear, only the quiet knowledge of someone who no longer needs permission. The paper fluttered once. No one touched it, not even Marjorie. She took half a step forward, stopped, then turned, pretending to check her watch. No one followed. Nathan picked up the rod, clipped the hook, didn't cast. He'd already caught what he came for. A boy tugged his father's sleeve. Is he allowed now? The father looked around, then nodded. Looks like it. One neighbor, mid-60s, stepped from the back, held up his phone, recording. His voice was even. For the record, Mr. Cole has court approval. Silence cracked. A woman in a blue windbreaker whispered, "They never told us about that meeting." The half circle broke. 2 chairs scraped. Someone dropped their clipboard. Marjorie looked down, then back up. Her lips parted, then pressed shut. No speech, no power. Nathan walked past her. No eye contact, no satisfaction, just presence. He reached the bench, opened the tackle box, took out a folded napkin. Old, faded, his dad's handwriting still faint. Don't fight for space. Just remind them you belong. Nathan placed it on the bench, right beside the X-marked pier. No one dared remove it. Behind him, the lake rippled once, software clear. The wind moved first, light, slow, enough to lift the edge of the napkin, but not enough to carry it away. Nathan stayed seated, the rod beside him, untouched. He didn't look at the crowd, didn't check the sign, didn't glance back at Marjorie, who was already walking fast toward the parking lot. One chair remained, folded, leaning against the bench. No one claimed it. The sun shifted across the lake, breaking into scattered gold along the waterline. Nathan reached into his coat, took out a small tin, unlatched it. Ashes, his father's, wrapped in a scrap of blue flannel. He didn't say anything, just poured, slow and steady, into the lake. The water held it, then took it. No splash, no ripple, just a return. Nathan closed the tin, placed it back inside, then sat. Still. Not waiting. Just being. Behind him, no one spoke. The sign still read, "No fishing," but no one pointed at it. No one dared peel off the paper above it. 2 ducks floated past, the kind his father used to call lake watchers. Nathan gave a small nod. To no one. To the lake. To the silence. The tackle box stayed closed. He didn't come here to fish. He came to keep a promise. And sometimes, that's louder than any argument ever spoken. Some battles don't need a crowd. Some promises don't need an audience. A bench, a quiet lake, a folded napkin with fading ink. Sometimes that's enough. There's a kind of strength that never raises its voice. It doesn't knock, doesn't force. It just waits until the noise stops. Justice isn't always loud. It's a paper pinned calmly to the place that once rejected it. It's a silence so full, no one dares speak over it. People forget rules, but they remember presence, stillness, steadiness. Someone who didn't run, didn't shout, just stood and stayed. Time will wear down signs, paint will peel, boards will rot. But some things, like a son keeping his father's promise, don't wash away. Let others argue. Let them organize, reprint, redraw. The lake doesn't care. It only remembers who returns. Some things don't need defending, as long as one person remembers what was once quietly earned.